Hey scholars and families, it's Miss Marnon, so I'm going to go through with you what we're doing in week 6 of learning in person and online for our Pod B students the week of October 19th. So when I have my screen here, I actually see both assignments for A and B. When your scholar logs on, they'll only see the assignments for B, so it won't look as messy or as much. So I'm just going to go through day by day in each assignment what they're going to be doing. So on Monday, so here's a little overview. Your students will be working virtually, so they're working from home. I'll be teaching the Pod A students in person during this time. So they have a Desmos lesson and then some practice. So this is adding rational numbers, lesson 3B. So there's a Desmos lesson. They can click here to access the Desmos. When they are done, they can hit mark as done. There'll be a mark as done button at the top. Here is a video if they get stuck. This video is kind of like if we were in class where I would like set a timer and give students time to work and then we go over it. In the video, it says pause the video. Your student should then try to do the work and then they can hit play again and they'll see me go over it. So we have those videos for all of these lessons when we are on our virtual days. The next thing is an independent practice 6. So it's just about adding rational numbers. It should just be kind of pretty quick and easy. It's mostly going to be with like number lines, but we're also going to include some fractions and some decimal numbers. But your student can take this up to 3 times, and there is a calculator right here. They take the quiz and it will get started. I'm going to go back to modules. So that was for Monday. So now we're on Tuesday for Pod B students. So here's a video overview. So there's a Desmos activity here for students. They're going to click here. They're going to log on. Just like the other one, there's a video here if they get stuck or they need some extra help. It'll say pause the video. They should pause it. They should go try to work on the slide they're working on and then return to the video, hit play, check their work. When they're done with this, it's only 6 slides. They should go to Unit 2, page 2 in their class notebooks. If I'm on Unit 2, page 2 on our class notebook. So here there's like a din and a little lesson says do the Desmos, some practice, and then an exit ticket. There's also a video at the bottom included for if we're still struggling with this lesson. This was kind of a hard lesson, so this Unit Cubes edition kind of helped. This is how I reviewed it with some other students. So that is it for Tuesday. I'm going to go back to modules. So for Wednesday, Wednesday's an asynchronous and virtual day for everybody, so it's independent work. Here's the video overview if your student needs it. We're working on standards 7 NS1A and NS1B. These are going to go on our data wall. So each quiz, this is by standard. This is old state test questions. There's a video if they want to watch somebody else kind of talk about what this test is about, get a different perspective than what I've been saying or Miss Eastman's been saying. 1A is all about additive inverse and when opposites combine to make 0. It should be 3 questions, should be quick. Like I said, this data will be used on our data wall. There's a virtual data wall, which you guys can access on our webpage or on Canvas. And there's also the data wall that we have in our classroom. Same thing for 7 NS1B. This one's just about adding rational numbers. It has a different video here. They hit take the quiz, they get started. After both of those, if they would like, there is an upgrade assignment. So this is a discussion post, and this is how we can earn points to fill in some points for missing assignments or for some assignments we didn't do too well on. There's a Desmos activity that needs to be done first, and then they can answer these 2 questions and reply to classmates to get some bonus points. So we can go back to modules. Now we're on Thursday for Pod B. We have the rules for addition. So this is where we're going to start doing rules for addition. So this is going to be an in-person day. So when we are in person, we're going to have a Nearpod. So if your student brings their device to school, they'll be able to join the Nearpod live in class. They'll go to join.nearpod.com and I'll give them the code in class. If your student is absent from class for whatever reason, the Nearpod is also right here, embedded right on there. When they're done, we have to go to class notebook, Unit 2, page 3. So this is what we're going to actually be doing in class. So when we first start class, we have our DIN, and then we're going to do the Nearpod lesson. We'll do some notes together as a class, and then we'll have some independent practice and an exit ticket. And that's going to be what we're doing in class on Thursday. Again, if your student brings their device, they can do it all online. If they don't, I will have a paper version. And again, if your student is absent, they can do all this online. They'll still have access to all of the material. There's also a video if they get stuck if they're at home. We go back to modules so we can go look at the work for Friday. So Friday, we're going to start talking about the properties and using the different properties. Again, if your student brings your device to class, that's going to be the best possible scenario because we're going to have a Desmos lesson, and it's a lot easier to do it when they have their device in front of them because there's going to be a card sort and ordering things. They click here to get to the Desmos lesson. If they're absent for some reason, there's a video here that they can work on. And just like everything else, there is a page in class notebook, page 4, properties for addition. And this again will be printed for students in class, but if they bring their device, they may want to do it by writing on here or typing, or again, if they're absent, they can do all the work here. We have our exit ticket, and that's really going to be it for this week. And just a reminder that the marking period is over October 30th, so this weekend is a great time to make sure that we're making up any missing or late work. When your student is on the math class, if they hit grades here, you'll actually be able to see in big red letters if something's missing or not. So that's a good way to go through and see if anything's missing. You can click the assignment right from this page, and I'll hopefully have everything graded and caught up so we can get our report cards out as soon as possible. I hope you guys have an amazing week.